Hello and welcome to Andy's Little Sci-Fi Horror Show. My name's Andy. This is my little 10-minute window to the rest of the world, and today is a very special event. This is our Andy's Little Sci-Fi Horror Show Mother's Day event. That's right, happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers who may be watching this show. I can't imagine it's really a high demographic, but happy Mother's Day anyways. Now the concept of today's episode comes from an element that goes way back in literary history, a mother's revenge. Many accounts of this can be seen in early works of William Shakespeare and other great writers, to Ernest Hemingway's The Musician's Ghost, I believe is the name of that. Excellent poem, nice and creepy, nice and eerie, but you probably didn't realize that he wrote some eerie stuff. But of course, we're talking about more the modern day fare of the movies. That's right, a Mother's Day revenge. Now, when you think of mothers having revenge in the movies, the first thing that comes to mind, obviously, is the 1980s classic Friday the 13th.
Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
We weren't doing anything. We were just messing up.
Must be my imagination.
Yes, the classic tale of a mother's revenge. Mother sees her little boy drowning. Camp counselors are nowhere around. They're out there fooling around up in the cabin, and then boom, right in the opening sequence, you see, comes at her. Ah, we weren't doing anything. We were just fooling around, and then they get her right in the gut. Well, you assume they get in the gut. They never really actually show it because that was kind of the magic of those days. They never really went ahead and showed all the graphic gore. They kind of used your imagination to fill in the gaps. But this storyline was later revisited in Scream 2.
Last night, 2 college students were brutally murdered.
Police are everywhere.
The girl was stabbed 7 times.
Ouch!
Yes, right in the middle of the great resurgence of horror films. Kevin Williamson writes, Wes Craven directs a classic series, Scream. In Scream 2, they play off the idea of a mother's revenge, kind of re-mimicking or mirroring Friday the 13th, the original. Kevin Williamson made a really subtle point in his story, having one of the characters obviously be the movie psychopath fan, and the other killer being the mom. Sorry if I'm spoiling the ending, but the movies came out in the 90s. If you haven't seen it by now, shame on you. The mother comes back and does revenge, and of course it's that crazy chick from Roseanne. I can't remember her name. I was actually kind of surprised when I saw her first in the cameo as the reporter. I'm thinking, oh wow, they're really reaching the bottom of the barrel throwing these cameos in here. But I was actually kind of pleased to find out she was the killer at the end. That was pretty brilliant, so I got to give them props there. They fooled me with that one. Of course, as I have said before, the idea of a mother's revenge goes way back and does span many, many different genres. You can find the mother's revenge story go all the way through the movies like The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
I adore children, Mrs. Fartell. I love being with them. I love taking care of them. For me, it's the next best thing to actually being a mother.
He has your eyes, you know.
Do you really think so?
If something happens to my mommy, would you take care of me?
Of course I would. When your husband makes love to you, it's my face he sees. Get out of our house. Anyone can have an accident.
But a mother's revenge movie hit its ultimate peak in the dark comedy Serial Mom.
Life doesn't have to be ugly. Look at the birds out there. Listen to their call. Oui.
This is the story of Beverly Sutphin,
Scrambled eggs, anybody?
a devoted mother
I'm so happy I could chip.
You know how I hate the brown word.
A loving wife.
You think the kids are awake?
We could be very quiet.
I'm ready! Honey, you're hot tonight.
And a suspected murderer.
Oh, kids, are you doing your homework?
How did America's #1 mom turn into one of America's most wanted? Is she really guilty?
Are you a serial killer?
Chip, the only cereal I know anything about is Rice Krispies.
Is she the only one with a motive?
Believe that damn litter bugger.
Give her a happy face.
Or is there someone else
I'm stood up. I'll kill that jerk.
with an axe to grind?
You'll never get a boyfriend.
Meanwhile, this small Baltimore suburb keeps getting smaller and smaller.
It's been a crazy day, hasn't it?
Savoy Pictures asks the burning question,
Is your wife mental?
is Beverly Sutphin just a sweet suburban housewife?
I don't know what it is about today, but I feel great. Cookie?
Or is she serial mom?
That's right. Kathleen Turner, the crazy mom, Matthew Lillard, Ricky Lake. I mean, how can you go wrong? I don't even think Ricky Lake has had a bad performance yet. I highly recommend watching Serial Mom, even though it is a comedy, and for most people who know me, I don't really like comedies because they're not funny. I digress. Moving on from Serial Mom is another dark take on A Mother's Revenge. It's a much lesser known film in the mainstream world. Unless you're a fan of Troma and the other 80s cult films, you might not know about this one, but it is worth checking out if you can find it. It is a wonderful tale of a mother's revenge. It's called Surf Nazis Must Die.
Sometime in the near future, a major earthquake will lay waste to the entire California coastline. From out of the rubble will rise a menace far more terrifying than the death and destruction of ruthless gangs. And the gangs are ruled by the Surf Nazis. Surf Nazis must die. Adolf. Ava. Mengele. Hook. Smeg. And the rest of their evil Reich. Something must be done to stop them because Surf Nazis must die. Only one person is powerful enough, daring enough, brave enough to stop them. Only one person can ensure that Surf Nazis must die. She's tough.
I want to buy a gun. You're talking like trash. I'm more interested in something that took the head off a hunky of 20 pesos.
She's dangerous. She's all woman. She's Leroy's mama. And as long as she's alive, the Surf Nazis must die.
Hey, summer mama, home cooking.
See the film that is creating a tidal wave of action all over the world.
Now, I know many of you are like, what the hell is that? And after you watch the movie, you'll learn to appreciate it, and you'll have a whole different aspect of... Well, no, you'll still say, what the hell was that? But you gotta check it out. Surf Nazis Must Die. If you've seen these other films and you haven't seen this one, you gotta see the whole spectrum of Mother's Revenge. I can't have a show about Mother's Day Revenge or the relationship between mother and son episode without mentioning everyone's top of the list, Psycho.
Well, a boy's best friend is his mother.
And there you have it, Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock classic, wonderful tale of a mother's love. Happy Mother's Day to all of you for everything you do. My name's Andy. Good night.